Greetings, friends. It's me, Wayman, and I look a little rough. Just got up, having a morning coffee, and I gotta go into work later tonight. So, happened to see the video by Tool. It's good to see you on Tool, and this was a great video. I have not read Nietzsche yet, but I definitely want to get there. It's on the pile. But being one of the YouTubers that likes to throw the term fundamentalist around quite a bit, I do it for fun, and it's one of the things that I can say to get people's goat, either if they are a fundamentalist or if they're, you know, what we would call extreme atheists, to get some responses and see what people think out there. I think the term fundamentalist has changed since the pamphlet was written, and just like terms changed throughout, it was later applied to people who believe or think a strict set of beliefs or ways. So they later applied it to Mormon FLDS, fundamentalist Mormons, and Islamic fundamentalism. So, and then, you know, because of that, it could be applied to any extremist, you know. So basically what's funny is, even though, you know, the definitions are different, you know, people interchangeably, and I do it myself, use extremists and fundamentalists interchangeably sometimes. Probably when I should. But here's a person too that does. Chris Hughes. I didn't read this yet. I picked this up because it was on the bargain books, and I'm always interested in what everybody's thinking about on both sides. This is America's New Fundamentalist: When Atheism Becomes a Religion by Chris Hughes. He had this labeled another title. Didn't sell very well, so he had to remarket it. Well, it's a bestseller, but on this round, I think it was called oh, I Don't Believe in Atheists. So you might have heard of it under the other title. But the whole topic of what God is dead or not is pretty interesting, and using the version idea for religion is a pretty interesting way to put it. And I think we're way out there. We're probably on like 60.5 right now, because we went from a message, especially in, we'll use Christianity as an example, of repent for the kingdom of heaven is at hand, meaning Jesus is saying revert back to following Torah, prepare to die, because the Romans are going to come in and level the city, and I can feel it coming. The political the winds are right, and there's just no escaping it, and you get that from reading Josephus. And then after that, and then what the apostles did. So if you know, were just additions, and all those additions were for both social and political reasons, and also religious reasons. So what Mark is saying is not the same thing that Luke is saying. It's not the same thing that Matthew is saying. It's not the same thing that John is saying, and definitely not the same as what Paul is saying. So when I was studying Greek, when I'm studying more in depth Greek mythology, it's awesome, because here you have the same pattern happen, and Zeus pretty much died out. And if you look at the Greeks and the long history and the long run that had from its beginning to end, you have somebody early writing who actually believed in the ideas of the belief system and the mythology wholeheartedly. You know, Hesiod's theogony, where he lists it. The gods were real at this time, you know, manifestations of nature, you could see them, and they interacted with humans, and, you know, you had the matings between gods and humans and all that. Then you get to Ovid's works, where he sees the god as being corrupt, and he uses them for fun and humor. Not all that serious. And as a matter of fact, I don't believe that he thought that the gods existed at all. They were useful to him only in literature. And then when I started reading Euripides and plays of Sophocles and people like that, here they are using the religion and the belief system and the mythology motifs for their own slant on political views to discuss topics of culture and political issues disguised in epic or in a play. So Homer did the same thing. The Homeric epics did the same thing. So that's why there are so many different stories of the same event slanted in a different way, and they were allowed to do that. Shows up in Christian mythology, shows up in Jewish mythology. Now what I think is interesting is Jewish mythology went to analyzing and the metaphor a lot quicker than Christianity did. So you say, they would have been killed 100 years ago for actually believing it was metaphor and not absolutely true. With Judaism and probably after the Babylonian fall, started seeing the text in that light. And then as you moved closer to the Greco-Roman era, the Midrash is made, where there's these stories, and the Talmud, where they elaborate, the Mishnah, where it's the oral laws written down, and they elaborate on stuff, and you get commentary and what all these things could mean, and all these. Then you start getting all these offshoot groups. So it happens, and I see that happening right now with Christianity. So you could get a good book on Greek myths with all the footnotes and all the dirt, with all the metaphors and possible historical connections on why things were written the way they were. Tons of footnotes. This is Robert Graves, The Greek Myths. Or you can get the storybook edition, which is cleaned up, no footnotes, and it's just straight up mythology to read at bedside. You get the neat little pictures. This leaves out most of the gore and the slice and dice. This is Edith Hamilton's Mythology. Same thing with biblical literature. You could get the big old commentary, which is slanted to the belief system that happens to think that way, or it can get the clean bedtime storybook edition with awesome pictures. So it's following the same kind of trend. It's following the same kind of trend. So I think where it's going right now is a big social club where people argue about, and secret society, kind of like Greek societies, where you have different kinds of societies where secret things would be told to people, or you had to be a member to participate in these types of rituals. Same thing's happening. They're all gone now, most of them. Well, all of them, mostly. Same thing in Christianity. And now it's becoming more of self-help groups. You get stuff like Olstein writing, self-help manuals for followers, and showmanship. So where Sophocles wrote a play, where plays, even still today, Oedipus is and he slants it towards political views. Showmanship is very much done today. Benny Hinn. That's all I have to say. So I think it's moving in that direction, and I think it'll keep moving until something else comes along. And I think Christianity killed Zeus. And then in the Roman era, however, it started moving into people seen as deities. So you got heroes, maybe the age of the heroes, where you had Titus and Vespasian, being seen as gods, even Caesar Augustus being seen as a deity. So that's moving in. So now you might, rather than the deity, it will be ministers and people. And in the secular world, the age of heroes would be movie stars and sports. See the big thing that they did over Tiger Woods. Oh, I'm all disappointed in Tiger Woods. Who cares? The guy's a good golfer. I don't really care about his private life, but some people did, And the same feelings that people get at autograph sessions are the same feelings that you used to get at church. So it's definitely going that way. Excellent video tool, and I love stuff like this. And of course, I love studying religion and Campbell and the metaphor and all that you talked about. And but I think the whole thing needs to keep flowing, and eventually it'll seep into the ground. I think it's going that way. It'll be more psychological rather than what it used to be. So take care, friends, and remember, if everybody's thinking alike, then somebody isn't thinking.